Yamunatira vanachari. Yamunatira vanachari. Jayo Radha Madhava Kunja Vihari. Gopi Jana Vallabha Girivaradari. Yashodanandana Braja Jana Ranjana. Yamunatira vanachari. Nama Om Vishnupadaya Krishna Prestaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Vedanta Swami Niti Namine. Prabhupada, Prabhupada. Namaste Sarasvati Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Sunyavadi Pasyachade Satarine. Prabhupada, Prabhupada. Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shivasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Panchatattva, Jaya Panchatattva. Jaya Nishinhadev, 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 Jaya Nishinhadev. Jaya Jaya Prabhupada, 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 Jaya Jaya Prabhupada, Prabhupada, Prabhupada. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Narayanam Namaskritya Naram Chaiva Narottamam Devim Sarasvatim Vyasam Tato Jayam Udiraye Nashta Preshu Abhadreshu Nityam Bhagavata Sevaya Bhagavati Uttamas loke Bhaktir Bhavati Naistiki. Hare Krishna, good morning. Thank you for coming. Today we are reading from Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 3, verse 20, chapter 24, verse 36. Etan me janma no loke smin. Etan me janma loke smin. Mumukṣūṇāṁ durāśayāt. Mumukṣūṇāṁ durāśayāt. Prasaṅkhyānāya tattvānāṁ. My God, prasaṅkhyānāya tattvānāṁ. Sammatāyātma-darśane. Sammatāyātma-darśane. Vaishnavas, mumukṣūṇāṁ durāśayāt. Prasaṅkhyāyatana tattvam. Sammatāyātma-darśane. Etan me janma loke smin. Mumukṣūṇāṁ durāśayāt. Who is reading? Vaishnavis. Etan me janma loke smin. Mumukṣūṇāṁ durāśayāt. Prasaṅkhyānāya ātmanam. Sumantyāna ātma-darśane. Etan me janma loke smin. Etan durāśayāt. Prasaṅkhyānāya tattvānāṁ. Sammatāya ātma-darśane. Etan me janma loke smin. Mumukṣūṇāṁ durāśayāt. prasaṅkhyānāya tattvānāṁ, sammatāyātma-darśane, etan janma loke smin, mumukṣūṇāṁ durāśayāt, prasaṅkhyānāya tattvānām, sammatāyātma-darśane. Thank you. So reading the verse, Srila Prabhupada's translation. My appearance in this world is specially to explain the philosophy of Sāṅkhya, which is highly esteemed for self-realization by those desiring freedom from the entanglement of unnecessary material desires. Srila Prabhupada Purport. Here, the word durāśayāt is very significant. Dur refers to trouble or duḥkha, miseries. Āśayāt means from the shelter. We, conditional souls, have taken shelter of the material body, which is full of troubles and miseries. Foolish people cannot understand the situation, and this is called ignorance, illusion, or the spell of māyā. Human society should very seriously understand that the body itself is the source of all miserable life. Modern civilization is supposed to be making advancement in scientific knowledge. But what is this scientific knowledge? It is based on bodily comforts only, without knowledge that, however comfortably one maintains his body, the body is destructible, as stated in Bhagavad-gītā, antavanta ime deha. These bodies are destined to be destroyed. Nitya syoktaha sariri naha refers to the living soul or the living spark within the body. That soul is eternal, but the body is not eternal. For our activity, we must have a body. Without a body, without sense organs, there is no activity. But people are not inquiring whether it is possible to have an eternal body. Actually, they aspire for an eternal body, because even though they engage in sense enjoyment, that sense enjoyment is not eternal. They are therefore in want of something which they can enjoy eternally, but they do not understand how to attain the perfection. Sāṅkhya philosophy, therefore, is stated herein by Kapila-deva, is tattvānām. The Sāṅkhya philosophy system is designed to afford understanding of the real truth. What is that real truth? The real truth is knowledge of how to get out of the material body, which is the source of all troubles. Lord Kapila's incarnation or descent is specially meant for this purpose. That is clearly stated here. So, this verse is spoken by Lord Kapila-deva himself. So, when Lord says something, is very important, okay? And he explains why does he descend? Why does he come from spiritual world to material world? And he says that his appearance is meant to explain the philosophy of Sāṅkhya Yoga, which leads to self-realization for those who desire liberation from unnecessary material desires. And in this purport, in the verse, but basically in the purport, Srila Prabhupada brings up a very common problem that affects all living entities and all human beings. We want happiness, we want freedom, we want peace. But exactly the same way we live our lives, exactly the same way we live our lives brings exactly the opposite. Bondage, unhappiness, misery. Okay? So we should ask a very bold question. Why do we, intelligent entities, why do we take shelter of things that bring us miseries? We want happiness, we get miseries because we take shelter of something that only gives us miseries. And the verse answers these questions. So please stay with me. It's a difficult topic, no lila, no pastimes, so bear with me, and we will move through the verse, we'll move through the purport, and we'll get a very substantial gift in the end, okay? So stay with me. Let's see where we are. We are Canto 3, Status Quo, Chapter 24, Kardama Muni's renunciation, and verse 36, Kapila-deva's appearance. So for newcomers and for setting our mind, I will give you a little bit of context. So Kardama Muni is a Prajapati, a pure devotee of the Lord. He was living a very renounced and self-controlled life. Out of duty, he took a wife, and Devavati is in the same level of Kardama Muni. They begot 9 daughters, and now he wants to renounce. He feels that his duties as Grihastha person are finished. So he wants to go to the forest and to take sannyas. And going to the forest means going to the forest. No shelter, no fire, no companions, no servants. But Devahuti has one request. She wants spiritual liberation. She wants spiritual knowledge. And she's very sincere in this desire. And in response to this sincere, strong spiritual desire, Lord himself, Kapila-deva, descends from the spiritual world to the planet Earth. So even before his appearance, he's teaching us a very strong and inspiring lesson. The Lord appears in our life when we are sincere about spiritual topics, when we are sincere about spiritual knowledge. He comes to our life. if we want spiritual freedom, spiritual liberation. The other way, it will not come to our lives if we just want temporary relief from material complications. Okay? So, moving on to the verse itself, Srila Prabhupada calls our attention to one very important word from the verse. And this is to me, very interesting, because we can say that Bhagavatam philosophy lives inside the Sanskrit words. Just remember how Lord Chaitanya was able to give 64 meanings to Atmarama verse. And this is possible, of course, he's God, he can do it, but also it is possible because Sanskrit is so sophisticated language that each word has many, many meanings. Okay, so the word Srila Prabhupada calls us attention is durāśayāt. And this word reveals the root problem of conditional life. Can you imagine? One single word and tells us the root problem of all our problems. One word, durāśayāt. And dur means bad, difficult, miserable. And āśayāt means shelter or resting place. So, durāśayāt means taking shelter of something that will bring only miseries. No other way, no other options. Durāśayāt. And what is this shelter? Material body. And because it's not a shelter, it's a false shelter, but we take it as a shelter. Durāśayāt. Keep it in your mind, it is very important. And we can say that conditioned life begins, mine, yours, anyone's conditioned life begins, tan, 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 when we, eternal, spiritual souls, identify with matter. That's it. Now the problem comes, because immediately after this identification, all the miseries unfold, all the problems, all the complications. This is the root cause, identification with the material body. And everything that you can think about that is bad comes from here. We begin to think, I'm Purnamasi Mataji, I'm a woman, I'm Portuguese, and you also, your name, your country, your identification. This body is mine, this garland is mine. And then my body relationships identify me. I'm the mother of someone. I'm the daughter of someone. And then the body pleasures will satisfy me. You see how we are going? Up, up, better. Down, down, down. And then this is my family, this is my community, this is my nation, this is my planet. So from this first mistake, identification with matter, endless complications arise. Because the body is durāśayāt, is a false shelter. And Srila Prabhupada makes a very bold observation in his purport. He says, modern civilization is based almost entirely on bodily comforts. Science advances, technology advances, medical care advances. Yes, good. Why? Because they want more, to give the people more bodily comforts. But Bhagavatam, our philosophy, Bhagavad-gītā says, okay, people, okay, you are doing great, you are really, really advancing, but can you stop death? Medical people, can you stop that death? Can you stop birth? Technology, can you stop birth? Can you stop death? Because we know everything that is born will die. And everything that dies will born. So this is the circle, no? So, whatever they do, they will never succeed. Because real success would be stop death and stop birth. And they cannot do it. It doesn't matter what they think. It doesn't matter what they do. It's not possible. And in Bhagavatam, in the Purport, Srila Prabhupada quotes a verse where Krishna says, these bodies are destined to die, to be destroyed, no matter what we do. Again, durāśayāt. So from this point, we can understand a very interesting principle, universal principle. Misidentification with the body is the root of all material sufferings. But I don't want to make you depressed. Let's move on, and we have hope. Just stay with me, okay? Smile, breathe. It's not so bad. We have hope. Ready? Okay. So, Prabhupada explains something very interesting about the subtle psychology in this purport. He says, even though people engage in material activities, material temporary sense enjoyment, actually what we desire is real, eternal enjoyment. This is the hidden psychology of the soul. And this hidden secret desire reveals our nature as spiritual beings. We naturally seek eternal existence, eternal knowledge, eternal happiness. Why? Because we are eternal, full of knowledge and full of bliss. We are Sat Chit Ananda, like the Lord. Because we seek for that all over the place. But we forgot our real nature. So we are trying to get this eternity this knowledge and this bliss in the wrong place. Remember when Srila Prabhupada uses the analogy of trying to get honey from a closed bottle without opening the lid. Yes, the honey is there. Yes, I'm here, I want honey, but I will never get it. Okay? So, we are trying to get eternity, knowledge, and bliss from a wrong source, the material body. And because we cannot, at least people try to get a longer life, more security, more pleasure, more intensity in the pleasure. But we cannot get it. So we just get frustrated. Frustration is the background feeling of the material conditional life. We want something, we cannot get it. We try, we don't get it. So frustration is the main feeling in our hearts. No matter how externally we see success. And if you have rich friends, or if you are rich, you can ask them. And normally, they are more under anxiety than poor people. In one purport, Srila Prabhupada says, they are asking, did I invest my money properly? Who will steal my money? Who will take over of my properties? So even externally they are successful, or externally we are successful, always frustration is there. Okay? Now that I got you to the point where you are, oh my God, I'm frustrated, I'm taking shelter of a false shelter. If you are in this situation now, I got it. I wanted to bring you to this situation, for you to feel the frustration. Sorry? But this is a need, okay? Why? Because we should speak about Sāṅkhya Yoga. The verse is about Sāṅkhya Yoga. So, now that we are feeling frustrated, now is the right moment when and where Sāṅkhya Yoga becomes essential, becomes so important. Okay? Kapila-deva says, he comes to explain the analysis of reality. Sāṅkhya actually is the analysis of material reality. Okay? And the word itself means analytical enumeration, meaning 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 elements, and we will analyze that elements. This is Sāṅkhya, okay? But it's Sāṅkhya Yoga, Sāṅkhya philosophy. You will understand after why I'm stressing Sāṅkhya philosophy, Sāṅkhya Yoga, okay? So, how Sāṅkhya does this? Sāṅkhya does the analysis of reality, analytical enumeration. How? It breaks reality into its components. so illusion can be removed. Okay? How? Sāṅkhya philosophy distinguishes between material elements, body, senses, mind, intelligence, ego, and spiritual soul. And if we read Bhagavad-gītā, we'll understand that at least 4 verses in Bhagavad-gītā speak about Sāṅkhya Yoga. And how do they define Sāṅkhya Yoga? As a philosophical analysis of the material reality, yes, and especially the soul. So, chapter 2, contents of the Gita summarized. Verse 39 is about Sāṅkhya Yoga. Chapter 3, Karma Yoga. Verse 3 is about Sāṅkhya Yoga. Chapter 5, Karma Yoga, action in Krishna consciousness. Verse 4 and 5 are about Sāṅkhya Yoga. In the end, if we have time, I can read the verses for you. So, why is this analysis of material reality so important? We are spiritual souls. Why analyzing material reality is important to us? Bhakta, Haribol. Wake up, huh? Why? I will read it because it's really powerful, okay? Listen. Sāṅkhya Yoga is important to us as spiritual souls because bondage is sustained by confusion, ignorance, and lack of knowledge. When we confuse the self with matter, attachment arises. So it's important for us as spiritual souls to understand the material reality, because bondage to that same material reality is there because we don't know the qualifications of material reality. So we need, I give an example. I'm here, and suddenly there is a danger, a fire or something, and I want to get rid of the danger. Yes? So, what do I need to do? I need to analyze my material situation. I need to see where are the windows, where is the door, where are my friends. So only after and because of analyzing the material reality around me can I get free from the same material reality. Understand? So, when we understand clearly, we are not the body, I'm not the mind, I'm the eternal servant of the Supreme Lord, the structure of illusion begins to collapse. This is the purpose of Sāṅkhya Yoga. Sāṅkhya Yoga analyzes reality to help us to understand the reality is a durāśayāt, is a false shelter. It's very interesting that Lord comes to do this. Keep in your mind. It's so important that Lord comes to do this, Sāṅkhya Yoga. I told you a few minutes ago, Sāṅkhya yoga, Sāṅkhya philosophy. Why? Because there is another Sāṅkhya. There is a more recent and material Sāṅkhya. We are speaking Bhagavatam about eternal spiritual Sāṅkhya yoga, spiritual Sāṅkhya philosophy. But there is another Sāṅkhya that is atheistic, that is impersonal, that is purely material. And unfortunately, we know this very nicely. Because this material Sāṅkhya has thousands, billions, and billions of representatives. And if I can choose, I will say the Acharya is medical science. Who are the representatives of Sāṅkhya yoga? Sāṅkhya, materialistic Sāṅkhya. The scientists. They try to give us more comforts, better food, better mating, better protection, in their point of view, of course. So these Sāṅkhya, material Sāṅkhya, what they do, they analyze the same elements. The body, the mind, the nature, the minerals, the animals, the intelligence. They analyze exactly the same elements as Sāṅkhya yoga. But they take God out of the question, out of the equation. They speak about same elements, but they don't speak about spiritual soul. And God is not there. And unfortunately, all of us have this experience. If you go to a doctor, and if you have a problem in your headache, in your head, they will treat just this platform. They will not be careful about if the same medicine will harm your stomach. If you go to another doctor, you'll just see your leg. You have sciatic pain. They will not ask you, what are you eating? You see, they see us as parts, independent from other parts. They don't see us as human beings, and they don't see us as spiritual souls. So we can say that Sāṅkhya yoga, Sāṅkhya philosophy, clarifies reality, removes identification with the body, and opens the way to bhakti. Only God to do this, huh? Only God to gives us a philosophy about material reality that leads to bhakti. And I'm not the only one who says this. Listen. In a previous verse, Kardama Muni says, the father, says that Kapila-deva descends to disseminate the process of real knowledge. And Srila Prabhupada says real knowledge is Bhakti Yoga. In a previous purport, Srila Prabhupada also says, Sāṅkhya, enunciated by Kapila Muni, is meant to establish one firmly in devotional service. And in the next chapter, 25th, about devotional service, Shaunakya Rishi says, he, Kapila-deva, descends to disseminate transcendental knowledge for the benefit of the whole human race. So Sankhya Yoga leads to Bhakti Yoga. Krishna is lovely, huh? Okay. The verse concludes with another very beautiful word. Ātma-darśane. 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 Seeing the self. It means self-realization. And self-realization means we see ourselves as spiritual entities. And when this realization awakens, several transformations naturally happened. So this is our prize. Fear decreases. Attachment to temporary things decreases. Material desires lose their power. And the soul begins to rediscover its natural function. Loving service to the Lord. This is why Kapila teachings ultimately culminate in Bhakti Yoga. Sankhya Yoga is not a dry, speculative philosophy. It's a way to lead us towards Bhakti Yoga. Actually, Krishna doesn't give us a chance to lose Him. He tries his best to keep ourselves attracted to Him. Okay, Purnamasi Mataji, thank you very much for your class. So, how can I apply this in my spiritual life? Because Bhagavatam class are supposed to give you something to take home. It's not only 50 minutes of feeding the soul. We want to feed the soul all day. So what is the practical application that I'd like you to get from these 60 minutes? So, I will ask you some questions. No need to answer. It's up to you, between you and Paramatma. I'm just asking. Just asking, okay? So, do I identify with the body, or do I identify as a spiritual soul? Do I use philosophy to advance or to get comfort? Am I using my body, my mind, my intelligence to serve God? Now, the most difficult question. Ready? How am I using my phone? How am I using my computer to watch Instagram, Facebook? What is the other one? TikTok. Mainly? Or am I using my phone to read Srila Prabhupada's original books? Am I using my phone, my computer, to watch a class online? Am I using my phone, my computer, to hear other devotees preaching? Am I sending and receiving spiritual messages? we all know.
Only sometimes.
Good.
You can't control all the messages that are coming in. If your device is on, you're not just getting devotee messages.
I know.
You're getting atheist messages too. That's gratification. So there is the challenge.
Yes, but it's up to us to read and to reply. Okay? So, we all know that we are not these material bodies. We all know we are spiritual souls. We all know that we are meant to do devotional service. However, when we feel a slightly discomfort, I have pain in my toe. Oh, I cannot go to the temple. Oh, I have a small problem, big problem in my family. I cannot read today. Someone told me something that I cannot tolerate. I cannot hear a class. I cannot concentrate. And this is very good, people. This is actually very good because this proves to us how deeply we are attached to our body. And remember, from Sāṅkhya Yoga, we need to know material reality so we can get out of here. So I'm sorry if I'm causing you some kind of discomfort again, but it's for your own good, it's for my own good. We need to know where we are so we can get rid of this. Okay? So, but there is hope. There is real hope. Because every single day, every single hour, every single moment, we have two choices. We are not completely bound. We are not in a prison house. We have choices. We can treat the body as our identity, or we can see the body as an instrument. So every day we can choose. Am I the body, or the body is an instrument for me, spiritual soul, to use in devotional service? And this is very interesting, you know, because we can use something that is temporary to do eternal devotional service. Krishna is so kind, so merciful, so loving. So the same body that can be durāśayāt can also be an instrument to liberation, to freedom. It's up to us. This is the transformation that Lord Kapila's teaching are meant to produce. So, I'd like to conclude saying that the essential message of this verse is that we are not this body, we are spiritual souls, we are meant to do devotional service, and Lord Kapila appears to teach Sāṅkhya so that we can clearly understand this distinction, body and soul. And once that understanding matures, the path of devotional service naturally unfolds. So now I told you that Bhagavatam class should give you something to take home. Okay? And I was trying to make it interesting, short, for you to accept. So my desire is that you accept my gift, and I'd like you to really take it home. So who would like to get a gift from me? Ah, thank you. Okay, so here is the gift. 4 words. Only 4 words for you to keep the verse, the purport, and the class in your mind. Is that okay? So, only 4 words and you will get a package. So, the words are durāśayāt, material civilization, Sāṅkhya, and ātma-darśane. So repeat after me. Durāśayāt, material civilization, Sāṅkhya, ātma-darśane. Meaning, durāśayāt is a false shelter, the body. Material civilization expands the false shelter. Sāṅkhya exposes the false shelter. And ātma-darśane is real shelter, bhakti yoga. So only 4 words. Durāśayāt, false shelter, material civilization expands the false shelter. Sāṅkhya exposes the false shelter. And ātma-darśane, real shelter, bhakti yoga. So thank you very much for your time, for your attention. It's 9 o'clock. I'm available to stay. If you want to stay with me to do your comments, to do your questions, I will feel extremely grateful. If you need to go, it's okay, you can go. Hare Krishna. Yes, Prabhu.
Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna, thank you for your wonderful class. It's been very interesting. You explain about we are not the body. That's required practice. I mean, you belong to the people who can hear. I belong to the deaf community, which is a bit more isolated. So when I see a deaf person, quickly I approach to him. I'm very interesting. I feel very attached to the deaf because I feel I'm deaf. I identify myself as a deaf person. So I feel very difficult to not be identified with the body, even if we have the practice, Sāṅkhya philosophy, all the practice. So what are your thoughts on this subject matter?
Can you put it shorter?
Yeah, so basically, he's a deaf devotee.
Yes.
Deaf people are minority in the
Yes.
world, and here are the majority. So because of that, when he see a deaf person, he feel very identified. He is deaf, I'm deaf. So quickly approach to the deaf person and talk because there is something in common. So in the class talk, you were talking about we shouldn't identify with the body. But he said even if we know this philosophy, we still identify with the body. So what are your thoughts, like how we remove this material identification, especially in his case, like he's deaf, he's part of the minority. So how can you help, basically?
Thank you very much, Prabhu. So it says being deaf he identifies immediately and naturally with deaf people. How can we help to lose this identification? Prabhu, thank you very much for your question. It doesn't matter if the group is small or big. We all identify with people we see similar with us. It's not that because you identify with a smaller group that you are more identified as me. I identify as a woman, I identify as a Portuguese, I identify as a mother, is the same, is very similar. And second, of course, you will identify with a group that speaks your language. Of course. If some Portuguese person comes, immediately I will feel attracted because I will speak my own language. So it's not a problem. But the solution is universal. The solution is for everyone. You can read. And fortunately, as I said in the class, technology is advancing very fast. Now, almost all the videos on YouTube have subtitles. Or there are programs to enlarge the text. You can read, even if you are with problems in your eyes. So we can use technology to do our devotional service. So there is not a problem because you have another kind of layer of bondage. We are in the same boat, but the solution is for everyone. Reading, watching classes with subtitles, taking darshan, your japa, your puja. And the solution is for everyone is the same. Is this okay, Prabhu? Is this okay? Thank you very much. Yes, Prabhu.
Yeah, as you said, you can also use your body as a tool. It's like, you know.
Exactly.
You said you can use your body as a tool. So
yes. It's an instrument given by God to me to be used in His service.
Exactly.
Yes. So we need to be reminded of this. So, yes, Mata.
Thank you very, very much for this beautiful lecture. I have several questions, but I will start with one. Could you kindly repeat the causes for that sustain the bondage of material life? You were mentioning 3, but I didn't get them.
We think we are the body. We think that the body is mine. We think the body will give me pleasures. We think the body will give me safety. We think that everything related with my body is my own identification. We think my society, my community, my country, you name it. Because this is expanding. Material life is expanding. And it's like a Pandora box. You just open it and it will not end.
Thank you very much.
Anyone else would like to make a comment or to do a question? If not, we are fine. Hare Krishna. Thank you very much. Okay? Thank you very much. And just remember 4 words. Okay? Durāśayāt, material civilization, Sāṅkhya, and ātma-darśane. Okay? Wishing you a wonderful day. Thank you very much for your attention. Hare Krishna.